All right, let's just jump right in. Because what we're talking about today isn't just some small update to the internet. No, this is a total rewrite of how it's even built. We're going from years of work down to just a few seconds.
Seriously, just stop and think about that for a moment. For decades, building any kind of online community was this monumental, incredibly difficult task. But what if all of that, all the complexity, all the cost, could be boiled down to a single idea?
The scale of this change is, well, it's just mind-boggling. We're shifting from a world that demanded millions of dollars in funding and huge teams of engineers to a completely new reality, a reality where one person, with one simple prompt, can launch an entire network, pretty much instantly.
Now, to really appreciate how revolutionary this is, you have to remember the old way of doing things. For years, the internet has been dominated by just a handful of digital giants, and that's because building an alternative was a truly Herculean effort.
And we're not talking about small hurdles here. These were giant, impossible walls. You needed billion-dollar infrastructure. You had to get massive amounts of cash from venture capitalists. You needed armies of specialized developers. The whole system was basically set up so that only a few huge platforms could even exist.
But that era is ending. We are now entering a completely new age, one that's powered by an idea that is as simple as it is incredibly profound: the power of a single prompt.
This is it. This is the core idea from the platform making this all possible. Web 4.0 community. One prompt gets fed to a powerful AI, and out the other side comes your very own custom social network. It just cuts through all that old-world complexity down to its absolute essence.
So, how does this actually work? Well, they call it a community VM, which is just a fancy way of saying an instant community instance. Think of it like this. Instead of building a car piece by piece in a factory, you just describe exactly what you want, and a fully assembled, ready-to-drive car just appears. That's what this does for social networks. It's not just a website builder, it's the entire factory and the finished product, delivered in seconds. Okay, so you're probably thinking, how does this magic trick actually work? Well, the AI plays two critical roles here. First, it acts as your master architect, and then it becomes your round-the-clock operations manager. And all of this happens in the blink of an eye. First, the AI interprets your idea. You say, a network for rare sneaker traders, and it gets it. It translates that thought into flawless code. Then, it provisions everything: the entire backend, the databases, the APIs, the whole shebang. And finally, it generates a beautiful, mobile-friendly user interface. The whole assembly line is completely invisible to you.
But here's where things get even crazier. The AI doesn't just build your network and then disappear. Nope. It stays on 24/7 as your dedicated ops manager, handling all the complicated stuff that happens after you launch.
So take scaling, for instance. Imagine your community suddenly goes viral. Some big influencer joins and you get a massive spike in traffic. In the old world, your site would crash. Total disaster. Here, the AI sees it coming, automatically gives you more resources before performance even drops, and guarantees your platform runs without a single hiccup.
Then you've got security. That's a huge headache, right? Security, legal compliance, it's a nightmare. Well, the AI handles all of it. It's doing real-time threat detection, and it automatically implements complex privacy rules like GDPR in Europe. That means your network is secure and legally compliant from the very second it exists.
And to top it all off, the AI actually helps your platform get smarter over time. It analyzes how your users are behaving, sees what content is working, and can suggest or even implement changes to the design to keep people engaged and coming back. It's not just running your network, it's actively making it better.
So, what does all this mean for the big picture? This isn't just a technical upgrade. It's a profound financial and social revolution, especially for creators. And it all comes down to this single number: 0. That's what you pay for developers, that's your budget for maintenance, for updates, for bug fixes. All of that cost and all of that complexity, it's just gone. I mean, just look at this comparison. The huge cost of developer salaries? Vanished. The constant drain of maintenance and updates? Gone. And the time it takes to add a new feature? You're not waiting weeks or months anymore. It's instant.
This zero-cost model just blows the doors wide open. It means millions of hyper-niche communities can finally exist and thrive. For gardeners, for vintage synth collectors, whatever.
It gives creators true freedom from the rules of the mega platforms. And it means your platform is always future-proof, because adding the next big thing, like video conferencing, is as simple as just changing your prompt.
Ultimately, what this technology does is it triggers a fundamental shift in power. For the very first time, the control, the ownership, and the value are being taken away from the centralized giants and put directly into the hands of the creators who actually build the communities.
Which brings us all the way back to the beginning. The barriers have been absolutely shattered. The tools to build are instant, they're powerful, and they're free. The only limit left is your imagination. The power is now yours. So, what will you create?